Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. We are going to begin our program. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. You should now be seated at a table number that corresponds with the strategies label on your name badge. So I know I've now joined Team 11 down there, table down there. So please make sure you go to your new tables. Make sure you take all your materials with you. You're going to need them during the next stage of the event here. If you can't find your table number on your badge, just see one of the people in the back here with priority marking, and they'll help you out there. This next session is the one that the committee and I were really excited to learn about because it's unique in that it's going to actually ask you to participate. We're going to be getting feedback from you in terms of helping us to outline some key strategies for advancing community climate needs within the region. And I'd now like to welcome Rafael Montalvo and Hal Billerdahl. They're here with the FCRC Consensus Center here today, so that they can provide you some instructions for this next stage of the event. Raphael?
Thank you, Greg. If we could go to the next slide here for a moment. Hal and I are with the Consensus Center. As Greg said, we're here as facilitators. I just want to say a couple of words before you start your table discussions. All of you will have at your tables a volunteer facilitator and a volunteer note taker. Those individuals will have additional instructions for you as you go through, maybe a little bit more detailed instructions as you go through. Please work with them. They are good and brave people who have volunteered to work with you on this. So make it easy for them. The table discussions really have three parts to them after you get through the introductions. The facilitator will give you a little bit of background on the topic. If you've read your conversation starter, you'll have a head start. That's the same background they will give you. You'll have much less time than you would like for just general discussion of the topic, but you will have some. So the idea is that you can start sort of trading thoughts and ideas and thinking about the topic before you then move on to the third part of the table discussion. The third part of the table discussion consists of focusing on potential strategies to address that topic. Your conversation starter piece has an initial list of strategies. Those strategies are based on the discussions at the community conversations that many of you attended. They're drawn from the outcome of those discussions, and then the facilitators worked with those, added detail, in some cases added a little bit of material, did a very good job of preparing a starting point for you. The outcome of the table discussions, at least for our purposes today, should be that you identify the three strategies at each table that you think are your highest priorities for addressing that topic. Priority, your facilitators will have a little bit more to say about that, but basically we want you to highlight three strategies at each table that we can then take into the afternoon prioritization in plenary. Hal, anything else to add on that? We will be back, Hal and I, at the end of your table discussions, but with that, we'll turn it over to your table facilitators. Note takers, if any of you still need a laptop, if anybody still needs a laptop, note takers, we have plenty of extras. I think you're all set up. If at any point anyone has questions about the process, please call Hal or myself over. So with that, table facilitators, back to you. Thank you. I'm looking around for hands at tables that are still picking their three, and I see one last table picking its strategy. So if you would wrap that up. And I'll need to get your attention for just a moment before giving it back to Greg. Okay, so you can wrap up again in just a couple of minutes, or you can finish wrapping up if you need to in a couple of minutes, but I do need your attention for just a moment before we move on to the next portion of the agenda. So if I can get your attention for just a moment. Okay. I do need your attention for this. Thank you. So, real quickly, the next step, most of you don't need to follow this, but we will ask in just a moment the facilitators and the note takers working on each topic to get together and put their top 3 lists together. And so to do that, they need to know where their counterparts around the room are. Really quickly, I'm going to go down the list of topics, ask for the facilitators for each topic to raise their hands, and make sure you know where your counterparts are. So those working on education, facilitators, raise your hands. So we've got, okay, so over here to my right, keep your hand up. Those of you facilitators and note takers, you'll go over there in just a moment. Clean energy. Okay, you're both over in the same part of the room. You can find each other after this. Green infrastructure. So you're right next to each other. Your 2 tables are right next to each other, so you know where to go. Health risks, human health risks. So we've got one here and one here. So you 2, did you see each other? Yep, okay. Coastal interface, there are 3. So I think you're all 3 over there. You know where you are? Smart development. Here and here. So you're a little further from each other. Got it? Agriculture. Here and here. You 2 know where you are. Water management infrastructure. Okay. Did you see each other? Okay, good. Stakeholder engagement, you're right next to each other over here, I believe. Okay, and green business, there may just be one table. You've got it easy. Okay, so with that, I will hand it back over to Greg, and we'll be at the back waiting for your composite lists. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you to our facilitators and note takers as well.
Thank you, Raphael, and thank you, Hal, for that. We hope you enjoyed that session, and again, thank you for all of your input as we look at these strategies. After we come back from lunch today, you'll have an opportunity as a group to vote on these key priorities and filter them even more. Before we have a break for lunch, I have a very special announcement. Please join me in welcoming Julie Herbst with Solar United Neighbors to the stage for us. Thank you. Julie?
Hello, hello, thank you. Who is hungry here? Everybody? I have a captive audience, so thank you for giving me just a few minutes of your time to bring a fantastic solution to you. So isn't it great? We start with a problem, doom, gloom, scared, fear. What are we gonna do? This is urgent. And when we get together with other people and connect with other people, we get the energy going. And then our brains love problems, right? So you guys are all taking these problems and working together to solve them. So I'm here to bring you a solution for folks who want to make a difference. It's an opportunity. It's a package deal that's already planned. I'm here from Solar United Neighbors. We're a national nonprofit that we help people go solar, join together, and fight for energy rights. So we're actually an education and consumer protection organization. So I feel like an imposter here. We're not a climate organization. We're not an environmental organization, but solar works for everybody. So I encourage you to share this project. We are happy to announce the 2023 Southwest Florida Solar United Neighbors Solar Co-op. So if any of you are interested in going solar on your home or business, or have neighbors or friends who are curious about this, this is an opportunity to join together, learn from our information sessions, and learn from a vendor-neutral nonprofit who is not trying to sell you anything, how this works. What is the equipment? How does it work for you economically? It is open to businesses and homeowners in Lee and Collier County. It's open now. We have information sessions tonight and on Zoom in June and February. I will have a table out there, so I welcome you to explore, and I challenge you to get out of your silos, get out of your green communities, and talk to everyone about solar. Solar works for everybody. It can save everyone money, and this is a great opportunity to spread the word. This is a solution that works for everybody, and spread the word. Best way to find out about it is solarunitedneighbors.org/SWFL or /Lee or /Collier. Lots of ways to find us. So I welcome you to join, find out more, and spread the word. Thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Julie. You know, this is a great way for some of you to get involved in creating some climate solutions down here. So it sounds exciting. We just opened a brand new building on the FGCU campus called the Water School, and it has 20% of its power coming from solar. We're very, very thrilled, and I think that's something we're going to be hearing more and more about moving forward. Let's take about the next 20 minutes and pick up lunch. You're responsible for picking up your lunch. We'll bring it back here afterwards. We want you to sit in your original tables. So for our sponsors, just look for your signs. If you weren't assigned a table, you can sit anywhere you want if you're not with one of the sponsor tables. In keeping with our sustainability theme that we mentioned today, I think Katie Leone mentioned it first, in the lobby you'll find 2 meal options, both of which are vegetarian. The reason being that how many of you are familiar with the book Drawdown, recently put out by Paul Hawking? Yeah, that book identified, the top 100 things you can do to reduce our climate emissions, right, and change the climate for the better. And one of the top 10 was actually relying more on plant-based diet than a meat-based diet. Livestock actually produces up to 18 to 20% of the global CO2 emissions, what we call CO2 equivalents. Livestock produces methane, but it's the equivalent of 15 to 20% of global CO2 emissions. So eating a plant-based diet is something that I think we should all consider for those of us who do it already. We've got falafel wraps outside. We've got veggie wraps. You've got chips and hummus and a dessert. So make sure you go grab those. And then when you come back, again, sit in your original seats from this morning. And again, if you are one of our sponsors here today, just look at your name badge. It'll tell you where we are. And as Julie was just saying, she's got a table outside as well. So do some of our other partners here today. So while you're on your lunch break, maybe take a look at some of our tables for our partners here today. All right, any questions? Good. All right, we'll see you in 20 minutes.